Hey there, guys. How are y'all?
Good.
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 Good. I'm glad you're good. So, I think Elijah will be on. I don't know if they know well how to get on. I'll be watching for that for his mom was asking me about it, but she was asking for a Zoom link, which I don't have. So, we will see. I am going to record today's class. Just my video and the audio stuff, so that we have access to that later if needed. So we will be fine. This over here. Alrighty. We will go over our homework first.
I
All
just
right.
realized. I just realized I forgot my homework.
Uh-oh. Well, go grab it real quick.
Okay.
Oops.
I got.
All right. So I've got the first four up there on the screen.
I can't see the first and second one on my screen.
Okay. I had this problem with somebody earlier too. Let me know when you can see it, okay?
Okay, I can see it now.
Okay. I don't know why it's doing that on some people's things. It's chopping off the top half of my video on some people's stuff. I don't know what has happened, but we can make it work. Alrighty. Let's see. 5 equals negative 126. And 6 is. Make sure this is over here in case I get a message. Let's see. F equals negative 24. H equals 0. Negative. Negative 83. And then 10 is J equals negative 10. 11 is k equals negative 24. L equals 552, and 13 is M equals 88. Excuse me. And then 14 is N equals negative 955. 15 is P equals negative 1. All right, so what questions do y'all have on those?
I don't have any questions.
All
No
right.
questions here either.
Okay, y'all got them all correct?
Yep.
All right, great job. Okay, let's jump to, what do I want to do? Let's put this like this. Put that over there. That'll work. Okay. All righty. Well, let's look at some two-step equations. How's that sound? Great. Okay. All right. Two-step equations. All right, let me close this in case I see a message. Do not disturb. That's weird. It's online. I wonder if he is having problems figuring out where to go. I don't know. We'll figure that if get a message. Oh, here we go. Other okay. You'll need to on live class. Send. Okay. All right, two-step equations. We're going to jump straight in with some examples. We're going to kind of split these up into different types of examples. We'll probably do one, maybe two types today, and then we'll do other types laters. And then we'll hit some proportions later after that. Okay. Examples. Number 1. Let's do 4x minus 2 equals 6. Okay, so we added another piece. Hey, Elijah, how are you?
Good.
Good. I was telling them I went over the homework, and I can maybe stick up answers if you need it too. But I'm also recording today's class because it's easy to do since I'm doing it on the computer. And so you'll have access to that. I'll put that up in notes in our Discord page and all of those things so that you can have that. We're just starting two-step equations notes. All right?
All right. Yeah.
Okay. So here's our first example, and this is what we're gonna do. Now, when we excuse me, when we're doing these, I kind of talked about this the other day, that we kind of ask two questions, and then we do the opposite to get rid of a thing, right? So we look at what's attached, what is attached. So in this case, there's a 2 attached and there's a 4 attached, right? So that's what we're talking about with that. And then we want to also ask ourselves, how is it attached? How is it attached? And then we do the opposite to get rid of it. Opposite to cancel. To cancel. Right? So we've got a 4 and we got a 2. Now, on a two-step equation that looks like this one right here, it's going to be easiest if we get rid of the addition and subtraction first. Because if we get rid of the multiplication division part, then we end up with some weird fractions, and we want to avoid that when we can. Sometimes we have to use fractions, but when we can avoid it, we're going to try to avoid dealing with weird fractions. So this 2 right here, how is it attached to the x? Is it added, subtracted, multiplied, divided, or what? When I ask the question, you can respond either in if you want to respond out loud, or you can respond in the chat. Either one is just fine, because I have the chat up as we're doing stuff. So how is that 2? Is it added? Is it subtracted, multiplied, divided? What?
Wait, you said is it what?
This guy, is it added or is it subtracted? Is it multiplied, divided? How is that? No, this 2 isn't divided. How is it attached to that x there? Looks like subtracted to me.
Oh, I thought that was a negative.
Well, it's both, right? Because adding a negative is the same as subtraction, right? And so what's the opposite of subtracting?
Adding.
Adding. So we're going to add 2 to both sides as our first step. So we're going to add 2 over here. And if we add 2 over here, we've got to add it over on the other side of the equals as well. So negative 2 plus 2 cancels, right?
Yeah.
Leaving us with just 4x on this side. We keep our equals lined up. 6 plus 2 is what?
It's 6, 9.
I don't think it's 9.
What? 6,
8.
Oh, 8.
8, yeah, absolutely. Right? So now we've gotten down to a real simple one-step equation. How do we get rid of that 4 right there? Oh, I forgot we only did, I jumped a whole lesson, didn't I? Did I jump a whole lesson on us? We need to do some GPs on ones like this, because y'all are sitting there looking at me like, what are you talking about? I know that's what's happening. I can't see your face, but I already know. Let's do a couple examples like that first before we move on to 2 steps. So we're going back a little bit. I apologize. I'm going to do an example like this. We're going to do a couple of different kinds. We're going to do multiplication division stuff. I was thinking we were one lesson ahead of where we were. We may still get to that later today. We'll see how the day goes. So if we have something like this, 5x equals negative 20. All right. So what we have here is we have a number right next to a letter. And when we have a number right next to a letter, that means multiplication. All right? So that's what that means. So that means that 5 is multiplied times the x. So what's the opposite of multiplication then?
Divide.
Yeah, absolutely. Division. So to get rid of that 5, we're going to divide both sides by 5. Divide by 5, and if we do it over here, we've got to do it over here. So these 5s cancel, leaving us with just an x by itself. And then we've got negative 20 divided by 5. So what is negative 20 divided by 5?
4.
It is almost, but not quite, right? Because we've got to keep our integer rules, right? And so when we have, we're going back to our kind of...
A negative.
It is a negative, right? And so we got to remember that when we're multiplying and dividing, we should have some of this in our rules. So multiplication, oops, I need that tool. Multiplication and division for both of these, we just multiply or divide. But if they have the same sign, right, we've been doing that, then our answer comes out positive. Right? So, for example, if we have 5 times 5, the answer is 25. Or if we have negative 3 times negative 2, it's a positive 6, right? Y'all remember seeing this, I hope, at least a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. And if they have different signs, then our answer comes out negative. So if we have, an example, if we have negative 9 times positive 5, the answer is negative 45, right? If we have, let's do a division one. I should have done a division one over here. If we have a positive 16 divided by a negative 6, no, can't be 6. How about 4? Then it's negative 4 is our answer, right? And so that's kind of the chart we're working with multiplication and division. So our answer over here is a negative 4. Let me put this in its own layer so I can kind of leave this on the screen. There we go. Let's do a second example. Okay, we'll leave that on the screen. So another example, example 2 of a multiplication division. Let's do how about 15 times y equals 30. All right. So how is that 15 attached to the y? Is it added, subtracted, multiplied, divided, or something else? This is where you get to answer. You can type it in the chat or you can say it out loud. Either one works great for me.
Multiplied?
It is multiplied. Perfect. So what's the opposite of multiplying?
Division.
Perfect. So we're going to divide both sides. Now you notice that I'm writing my division like this. And this is to help us remember that division and fractions are the same thing, right? And which is going to make our lives a lot easier here in a bit whenever we end up having fraction answers, which is less scary than it sounds, right? So we've just got y left over here. And then what's 30 divided by 15? Remember, you can use your scratch paper if you need to.
2.
It is 2. And it's positive 2 because we've got the same sign, right? That's right. All right. So, number 3. Number 3, let's do negative 6z equals negative 18. All right, so what are we going to do here? What are we going to do to get rid of that negative 6?
Do you have to divide negative 6 and 18?
That's right. We got to divide on both sides. We're going to divide by negative 6. I don't like that. Can't tell the difference. Let's jump to this. Negative 6. Negative 6. So z equals... So what's negative 18 divided by negative 6? First of all, is our answer going to be positive or negative? Which side of our chart are we going on? Oops.
Positive.
It is positive because that's right, because it's the same sign. And it's positive what?
3.
3, that's right. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Let's do another example that's a little bit different. A little bit more. Oh, I did that all wrong. I meant to put that up there. Grab all of this. Put it there. And then go here and Blapo. Okay. Example, whatever it is, 4. Let's do n over 5 equals negative 2. Now, how is that 5 attached to the n? Is it added or subtracted or multiplied or divided? How is it stuck on there?
Divided, I believe.
You are correct. And so what's the opposite of dividing?
Multiplication.
Multiplication. So we're going to multiply both sides by 5. So those 5s cancel. And then we've got n left by itself. So negative 2 times 5 is what?
Negative 10.
That's right. Perfect. Let's do one more example of this, and then we'll jump back into two-step equations and take it and pick it up from there. Example 5. Let's do Q over negative 6 equals negative 10. All right. So how are we excuse me. How are we going to get rid of that negative 6?
You have to put it like on both of them.
Are we going to add, subtract, multiply, or divide to get rid of it? Multiply, yeah. Multiply negative 6. Multiply times negative 6. Those cancel. Leaving us with Q. And then what's negative 10 times negative 6?
Negative 10 times negative 6. 60.
Correct. Correcto. Beautiful. All right. I think we've got the hang of those. Let's jump back to our 2 steps. Put this right there. All right. So this is where we were on this problem, right? So now we're back to kind of a 1-step equation, just like what we've been doing today. How is that 4 attached to the x? Is it added, subtracted, multiplied, or divided?
Multiplication, I believe.
Correct. So how do we get rid of it?
Divide.
You had to multiply both of the.
Well, we got to do the opposite to get rid of it, right? So it's multiplied, so we got to divide to get rid of it. So now that 4 cancels. And we've got x left. And what's 8 divided by 4?
2.
It is 2. All right. Let's do another example like that, and then we may do some guided practices. This is example 2 from this lesson, so kind of maybe a little bit off since we did some other examples of kind of a smaller lesson. Let's do -4 times a minus 12 equals 4. So, what are we going to do first here?
Both of them negative.
Oh.
We are gonna take care of that 12. How are we going to take care of that 12? We're gonna add it, subtract it, multiply it, divide it. What are we gonna do with
Add.
it? We are gonna add it. That's right. So those cancel, leaving us with -4a equals 16. Now what are we gonna do?
Add it.
Yeah, we are going to divide it. We're going to divide by -4. So A equals, and what's 16 divided by -4?
4.
It's -4, right?
Oh,
They're
yeah,
different
yeah.
signs. Yeah. All right, let's do one more example like that, and then we'll do some guided practices. Let's do 15 times b minus 3 equals 7. All right. So what are we going to do first here?
Add.
We're going to add the 3. So we have 15 b equals
10.
10. So now what are we going to do with that 15?
Divide it.
We are. Divide by 15. Now this right here is what I was talking about a minute ago. Because that doesn't come out as a whole number, right?
Yeah.
But since we wrote our division like that, we can see real clearly that this is 10 over 15 fraction. Now, problem here is we can reduce that fraction, right? What can we reduce that fraction by? What goes into both 10 and 15?
Multiplication.
Well, no. We've got a fraction. We're trying to reduce it. So we're trying to think division, right? What can we divide into both of those?
5.
We can. Absolutely. We can divide 5 on the top and bottom. So what is 10 divided by 5?
15.
Well, 10 divided by 5.
Oh, wait.
Not
10 divided
plus.
by 5, 2.
Divided is 2, yeah. And then what's 15 divided by 5?
3.
3. There we go. We were going to have a quiz today, by the way. Obviously, we're not doing that since we ended up being virtual, and I don't really have a good setup for doing virtual quizzes right now because it was not the plan to be all virtual. So we will take a quiz next week. It'll be great. You'll love it. It'll be so much fun. It'll only be one-step equations, though, so no big deal. All right, let's do, oops. That's not what I wanted. Let's do a couple of GPs. GPs. Number 1. So let's do -4z equals, minus 22 equals, let's say, 12. And
You're going to have to add it.
yep, you will. GP number 2 is going to be
There's GPs.
what?
I said that I didn't know it was GPs yet.
Oh yeah, it is. It is GPs. GPs 5t plus 8 equals negative, we'll say 13. Make one. I'm going to throw one that's a little tricky. All right, I'm going to let y'all do that. Let me make this full screen. And I'm going to grab me some water while y'all do those GPs. I will be right back. Hear me, but the recording can't. Oh, you can't hear me, but you can hear me now. All right. So what we should have done is we should have added 22 and ended up with negative 4z equals 34, which I did the math wrong in my head. That's all right. So then we should have divided by -4. Now this is a little tricky, right? Did y'all see the trickiness? I didn't mean to make them both tricky, but in the same way, but they are. All right, so we've got 4 into 34, right? Are y'all there?
Yeah, I finished.
Okay, good. So 4 goes into 34 how many times?
Eight times, I believe.
You're right. 8 times. What's 8 times 4?
32.
8 times 4 is 32.
Mm-hmm. 34 minus 32 is what?
2.
Mm-hmm. So 8 and 2/4. What is 2/4 reduced to?
1/2.
Yeah. So our final answer is negative 8 and 1/2. How's that seem? Terrible? Easy? Kind of Sort of okay?
Sort of.
Sort of okay. Need more practice. All right. So what we should have done with this next one is we should have subtracted 8. Right? And we would have been left with 5t equals negative 21. And then we should have divided that negative 8. No. Why did it turn into an 8? What happened? How about divided that 5? Does that seem better? All right. And then we should have, when we divide that, we'll scratch paper that over here. 5 goes into 21 how many times?
4.
Yeah, what's 4 times 5?
4 times 5 is 20.
Yeah. And then we subtract and we get 1. So what's our final answer then? T equals, is it positive or negative? Start with that.
Positive.
Are the signs the same or different?
It's going to be a negative.
Yeah. Negative 4. And remember, we put 1 over 5, right? How's that look? Let's do another GP like that. Another two of them. They're a lot like that one. We may end up doing a whole bunch of GPs probably like we did the other day. Number 3. Let's do negative 6 L minus 5 equals 15. And number 4. Let's do 18 y plus 4 equals negative 32. Let's just do 2 GPs and see where we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Excuse me. So where we should have been is added 5 here. And gotten negative 6L equals 20. And then we would have divided by negative 6. And ended up with L equals negative 3 and 2/6, which reduces to L equals negative
You're on
3
mute.
and 1. Oh, and 1/3. You can hear me now?
Yeah.
Well, good. All right. Do we have any questions on? Oops. Do we have any questions on that one? I didn't show the scratch paper part of doing this division. Do we need to look at that?
I don't.
Okay. Don't forget to reduce your fractions. All right, so here we would have subtracted 4 and ended up with 18y equals negative 36. And then we would have divided by 18. And ended up with y equals -2. How do we do on those? Fairly okay?
A little good this time.
All righty. Let's do 2 more just like that. Jameson, Jacoby, we feeling okay about these? We doing all right?
Yep.
I can't
Yeah.
see your faces, so I've got to check in with you.
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Good. All right. So number 5 is -3 h minus 18 equals 23. And number 6.
This is GP.
Yeah, these are still GPs. We're going to do some examples after this of some more 2 steps, but that are set up a little bit different. Let's do -28 y plus 8 equals -16. All right, ready, go. All right. So for number 5, we would have added 18. And brought down the -3h equals 42. No, 41, right? Is that right? Did I do that right? Do I need a scratch paper? Did y'all get the same thing?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Then we're going to divide that -3. And h equals, let's scratch paper that. Oop, I forgot to put a negative. Our answer is going to be negative, right? So 3 into 41 3 goes into 4 once. 1 times 3 is 3 minus 1. And then we do a 3 and a 9 and subtract and get a 2. So 13 2/3. How'd we do on that? Pretty good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, we would have subtracted 8 and gotten -28. Y equals -24. And then we would have divided by -28. And gotten y equals positive 24/28. What do we reduce by, kiddos?
Four?
I agree. 4 sounds like a great idea. So y would equal 6/7. Looks great. All right, we're gonna do a couple of different kinds. We're gonna call these examples. Let's pick our example color to be that. That sounds fine. Examples. Examples, whatever it would be, like 3-ish, maybe. I don't know. All right, let's do -4 minus 2t equals 18. So, what should we do first on this particular problem? What should we try to get rid of first?
Negative. And the negative.
The negative, which one?
The -2.
Well, that one is the one that's multiplied. And remember, for ones that are set up kind of like this one and the last one, we want to get rid of the addition subtraction first. It's going to be easier. So we want to get rid of that -4 first. So how are we going to get rid of it? This is where it gets a little tricky. We've seen ones with just addition subtraction this way before, where the number's sitting out in front. Haven't we? We have seen that, right? Am I remembering that right? I feel like we have.
Do you divide it with something?
No, I wouldn't divide it because it's not attached through multiplication. It's subtracted because it's adding a negative, right? So what's the opposite of subtracting?
Adding.
Adding. So you're going to add 4. Right? So then we've got -2t equals 18 plus 4 is what?
23?
Not 23.
Oh, and no, 22.
22. Right? So now how are we going to get rid of that -2? How is it attached? Is it added, subtracted, multiplied, divided? We've been doing ones just like
Did I
this.
add it?
No, it's not. This one's not subtracted. It's right next to. What does right next to mean? What did we do like on these? Once we got down to like right here, and we had a number right next to the variable, what did we do? What did we do to get rid of that?
You divide.
We do divide. That's right. So we're going to divide both sides by -2. So what is 22 divided by -2? First of all, is it going to be positive or negative as the result?
It's going to be negative. No,
It is.
positive.
Yeah, it's negative. You were right because their signs are different, right? We got a positive and a negative. So you were right to begin with. Negative. And then what's 22 divided by 2?
$11.
That's right. All right, let's do another one like that. Let's do 8 minus -6L equals 15. Now, since we've got this negative, do y'all remember what we do with that? Since we got these two negatives right next to each other like that, what happens there?
You divide it?
We're gonna deal with something else. We're gonna deal with these two negatives right next to each other. We've got negative. What do we do with that? Y'all remember that word? The words I like to use. Okay, what we do is we ka-chink those, so it turns into plus, right? And on this, to make it real nice and neat and easy, we're gonna rewrite it with a plus here so that we can really see what we've done, so we can know how to proceed after that. 18 plus 6L equals 15. So if we have minus right next to each other, we got to ka-chink that first. So Now what would we do?
You minus him? Like,
Minus which one?
the 6. And
Well, the 6 is
15.
right next to. What does right next to mean? That's multiplied, so that's not the one we want to get rid of first. We want to get rid of the addition
So
subtraction
8.
one. Yeah, so we're going to subtract that 8. We're going to get 6L equals, what's 15 minus 8?
7.
Yeah, you're right. All right, what now?
Is that it?
Well, the L isn't by itself, so I don't think so. How do we get rid of that 6?
Division.
That's right. We're going to divide that 6 off. So L equals, now we've got to do that in our little scratch paper, right? We got a little scratch paper section here, right? 6 into 7. 6 goes into 7 how many times?
It goes into 7 once.
Yeah. 6, we subtract 1/6. So L equals 1 and 1/6. All right, let's do a couple more like these before, and we'll do some more GPs. Let's do -6 minus y equals 101. So what do we want to get rid of first?
The 6.
Yep. How are we going to get rid of it?
They're going to add it.
Yeah, that's right. Good job. Way to go. Virtual high five. Clap. That goes away, leaving us with negative y equals 101 plus 6, 107, right?
7.
No big deal. Now, we've got this piece here. The y isn't quite by itself. It's got this negative hanging out. If there's not a number here, what number do we there's an invisible number there. What is that invisible number right there? Anybody have any guesses? No guesses?
Is it 6?
No, it couldn't be 6. That wouldn't make any sense.
No, I don't know.
If there's nothing there, then there's an invisible 1 right there. Right? And we've got a number right next to a letter that's multiplied. So to get rid of that invisible 1, we're going to divide both sides by -1. Which is nice and easy because all that really does is it flips this sign, right? It changes it to the opposite sign. So y would equal -107. All right, let's do one more. And then we'll do some GPs. Let's do 5 minus negative P equals 8. What should we do very first thing before we do anything else? What do we need to do with that minus?
You divide those.
We got to deal with the minus first. What did we do? What did we do first with that?
Multiply.
Nah, we ka-chink it. We ka-chink. That minus turns into
yeah.
plus, right? So before we do anything else, we're going to do that. So this turns into 5 plus P equals 8. So now what do we do?
You add the 5 to 8.
Now we're not going to add 5, right? Because it's positive. It's addition subtraction. So we're going
No,
to.
like you put it under it. Like,
Well, yeah, we got to subtract it, not add it, right? Because that's what would cancel this. That's what would make it go away. Got to do the opposite, right? So
that would be
P
3.
would equal 3. That's
Negative.
right. No, positive. Because for addition subtraction, it's in your notes 2 or 3 times, but you if the signs are different, you subtract and keep the sign of the bigger one, right? Okay, let's do a few more GPs. We're at GP number 7. GP number 7. Negative 12 minus 8A equals 13. And GP number 8 is going to be positive 2 minus 4B equals 64. Ready, go. Okay. So, what we would have done is we would have added 12, which would have canceled there, leaving us with negative 8A equals 25. And then we would have divided by negative 8. Which would have given us negative 3 1/8. Right? And then over here, we would have subtracted 2 and gotten negative 4B equals 62. And we may not have 4s memorized all the way that high, so we probably would have wanted to scratch paper, I hope. Scratch paper is your friend. 62, 1, 4 minus 2, bring down 2, and put a 5, 20, subtract, get a 2, 2/4, which reduces to 1/2. So we would have gotten B equals negative 15 1/2. Do we have questions on those? How do we do on those?
I did pretty good.
Okay. Any mistakes that you don't know why you made them?
No.
Okay. How about my other 2 folks? How we doing? Did we did good on those?
Yep.
Yeah.
Correct. Let's do a couple more GPs. Throw all kinds of shenanigans in here. Number 9. Let's do negative 2 minus negative L equals negative 46. Looks scary, but it's really not so bad. 10. This one will do 8 minus m equals 81. All right, ready, set, go. I forgot to unpause the recording. If you were going back to the recording, that was the answers to the last problems. Merry Christmas. Okay. Number 4 is 6 minus 2z equals -3. 5 is -8 minus -4. Y equals 18. Number 6 is b minus 8 equals 62. Number 7 is -3c plus 88 equals 46. Number 8 is y minus 10 equals 13. Number 9 is -y minus 5 equals -6. Number 10 is -8x minus -2 equals 63. 17. How about t minus 8 equals -26. 18. What have I counted by? What has happened? Y'all didn't tell me I went all wacko. You're supposed to take care of me. How dare you? How dare you not take care of your poor teacher? Where did I even get to that number from? Who knows? $13 h minus 1 equals 0. Number 13 is -2 q plus 1 equals 547. And 14 is -6 minus 8g equals -80. There we go, kids. I will post this on Discord as well. That's all I have for you. Look, it's 3 minutes early. Y'all feel good about that? Or are you going to cry into your pillow because I let you go 3 minutes early?
I'm glad we leave 3 minutes early.
You're good to go. All right. Well, then I think we are through. I will see y'all next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.